In this video, we're going to take a look at the first race conditions lab on the Portswigger Web Security Academy. The lab is called Limit Overrun Race Conditions. Since this is the first lab on race conditions, I'm going to start by reading the module introduction and then I'll read through the content specific for this lab. If you've already read through this stuff in your own time, feel free to skip the video chapter. Race conditions are a common type of vulnerability closely related to business logic flaws. They occur when websites process requests concurrently without adequate safeguards. This can lead to multiple distinct threads interacting with the same data at the same time, resulting in a collision that causes unintended behavior in the application. A race condition attack uses carefully timed requests to cause intentional collisions and exploit this unintended behavior for malicious purposes. The period of time during which a collision is possible is known as the race window. This could be a fraction of a second between two interactions with a database, for example. And here we have a picture showing the redeeming of a gift card, which takes 5 milliseconds. And you can see then we have multiple gift cards being applied. The first 3 go through, and then the next 2 are invalid. So this is our race window. Like other logic flaws, the impact of a race condition is heavily dependent on the application and the specific functionality in which it occurs. In this section, we'll learn how to identify and exploit different types of race conditions. We'll learn how Burp Suite's built-in tooling can help us to overcome the challenges of performing classic attacks, plus a tried and tested methodology that enables us to detect novel classes of race conditions in hidden multi-step processes. These go far beyond the limit overruns that you may be familiar with already. There's a note here from Portswigger Research which just says that they have created a number of vulnerable labs based on realistic targets, and many are based on Portswigger Research which was presented at Black Hat USA 2023. This was the talk from James Kettle on smashing the state machine, and I actually saw this one at DEF CON. I know it's been presented at a few different conferences now, but there's also a link to the white paper here, so you can go and read through the paper or check out one of the video presentations. Okay, so we've been through the introduction into race conditions. Let's have a look at the content specific for the lab we're looking at today. And it says the most well-known type of race condition enables you to exceed some kind of limit imposed by the business logic of the application. For example, consider an online store that lets you enter a promotional code during checkout to get a one-time discount on your order. To apply this discount, the application may perform the following high-level steps. First, it'll check that you haven't used the code. Second, it will apply the discount to the order total. And then 3, it will update the record in the database to reflect the fact that you've now used this code. If you later attempt to reuse the code, the initial check performed at the start of the process should prevent you from doing this. Okay, and here we have the first example, so we can see that there is request 1. We submit the discount code, and it checks has it already been used, which is currently false. So it applies the discount code, and then it updates that Boolean value to true, so that on the second request, whenever we submit the code, it checks that value and it says that it's true, it's already been used, and therefore it will reject our code. Now consider what would happen if a user who has never applied the discount code before tries to apply it twice at almost exactly the same time. So in both requests, we have the check, is the code already used, and they both come back false. So they both apply the discount, and then they both set the Boolean value to true. But because they happened at the same time, they essentially apply the discount twice. As you can see, the application transitions through a temporary substate. That is, a state that it enters and then exits again before request processing is complete. In this case, the substate begins when the server starts processing their first request and ends when it updates the database to indicate that you've already used this code. This introduces a small race window during which you can repeatedly claim the discount as many times as you like. There are many variations of this kind of attack, including redeeming a gift card multiple times, rating a product multiple times, withdrawing or transferring cash in excess of your account balance, reusing a single capture solution, or bypassing an anti-brute force rate limit. Limit overruns are a subtype of so-called time of check to time of use flaws. Later in this topic, we'll look at some examples of race condition vulnerabilities that don't fall into either of these categories. The process of detecting and exploiting limit overrun race conditions is relatively simple. In high-level terms, all we need to do is identify a single-use or rate-limited endpoint that has some kind of security impact or other useful purpose, and then issue multiple requests to that endpoint in quick succession to see if you can overrun this limit. The primary challenge is timing the request so that at least 2 race windows line up. causing a collision. This window is often just milliseconds and can be even shorter. Even if you send all of the requests at exactly the same time, in practice there are various uncontrollable and unpredictable external factors that affect when the server processes each request and in which order. And here we can see an example of some of the factors that can affect where this race window is. So we have the internal latency, we have jitter, and network latency, which will impact this. But Burp Suite 2023 September added a powerful new capability to Burp Repeater that enables you to easily send a group of parallel requests in a way that greatly reduces the impact of one of these factors, namely the network jitter. Burp automatically adjusts the technique it uses to suit the HTTP version supported by the server. So for HTTP 1, it will use classic last byte synchronization, and for HTTP 2, it uses a single packet attack technique, which was first demonstrated by James Kettle at Black Hat USA. The single packet attack enables you to completely neutralize interference from network jitter by using a single TCP packet to complete 20 to 30 requests simultaneously. Although you can often use just 2 requests to trigger an exploit, sending a large number of requests like this helps to mitigate internal latency, otherwise known as server-side jitter. We've got a note here that we can read more details on how to use the new feature in Burp Repeater, and also if we want a technical insight into the underlying mechanics of the single packet attack, we can also take a look at the white paper, which was mentioned earlier. Alright, so with the background stuff out of the way, let's take a look at the lab. It is called Limit Overrun Race Conditions, and the description says, this lab's purchasing flow contains a race condition that enables you to purchase items for an unintended price. To solve the lab, successfully purchase a lightweight elite leather jacket, and we've been given some credentials that we can log in with. We're also told that we need to use Burp Suite September 2023 or higher. Okay, so we go through to the page, we find immediately that we have this promo 20 code that we need to use at the checkout. Let's first of all go and log in with the credentials that we were given. And then let's go and have a look at this elite leather jacket. So we can see that it is $1,337. Let's go and add it to our cart. And let's go and have a look at the cart. Alright, so we've got 50 store credit, and this costs $1,337. We clearly don't have enough money, but the idea is that by getting a 20% off discount, if we can get this multiple times, we can reduce the price of this leather jacket to be less than $50. So I'm going to go to Burp Suite, and I'm going to turn the intercept on for this request, and I'm going to go and do this promo 20. Click apply. It's not actually going to go through because it's waiting for me to do something, and the thing that I'm going to do is send this to the repeater. We want to send this request multiple times, so what you can do here is do Control and R to just send this to the repeater again. And there we go, we have 8 different tabs that have been created. Let us also then group these tabs. So you can do this add tab to group, and I'll call this race. I'll add each one of these tabs in here, and then I'm going to change the color as well. And there we go, now we've got this group called race, and it's got 7 in it. We can click on this little drop down, and now we have the option to either just send one of the tabs, or we can send the group in sequence, either single connection or separate connections, or send the group in parallel. So we want to send them all at once using this single packet attack. And note that this is HTTP 2, so it's using a single packet attack rather than the other option, which I forgot what it was called. So let's try it. Let's do send group in parallel. We click that, now we need to actually click send. And then I'm also going to turn off the proxy here as well. And you can see that this is already applied, but look, we actually got a $1,056 reduction. Unfortunately, that's not quite enough. So I'm going to remove the promo, and let's go back to the repeater. I'm going to send a couple more of these to the group. So now we've got 12 instead of 7. And let's do that again, send group in parallel. And let's refresh the page. This time we have the exact same reduction. Okay, let's try it again. Send, refresh, and we have the same again. Let me remove it. I'll try and add a couple more here, but I think we have plenty. This is going to be a different result generally each time you do it. There you can see we now have got a 1,289 reduction. And that's brought us down to 47, which means we can actually place an order, and we have solved the lab. Okay, so a nice easy one to start off with. We did get Actually, we were getting the same result each time, but it took multiple attempts to do this. Whenever I first tried this lab, I was getting a very different result each time that I sent all of them in parallel. But just to recap what happened then, because we have multiple stages in this coupon application, let's say it's first checking to see whether the coupon has been used. And if it hasn't, it's then going to apply it, and it's then going to update the used flag to say, yes, it has been used. Because we've sent through nearly 20 requests at once, and due to the timing of those requests, multiple of them at the same time checked if the coupon had been used, and it returned no, it hasn't been used. So it applied the coupon to each one of those orders, but of course they're the same order, which means we get 20% off for each discount. And then once the first one of those coupons has been updated in the database, none of the other requests to add that coupon will be accepted, but any that have already got through in that race window will be applied. Okay, hopefully that made sense. In the next video, we'll be looking at how to bypass rate limits via race conditions. And just a reminder, if you want to find some race conditions in real-world applications and get some money for it, you can check out the Intigriti platform at intigriti.com. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Thanks.